My stepdad takes the AC panel off the wall, and my mom's only solution to the heat is telling me I'm not allowed to undress in my locked room. My stepdad takes the air conditioning control panel off of the wall for days at a time, and I have nothing but a broken fan to keep me cool during the summer months in the South. It gets very hot very fast, and I have a huge window facing the sun, so my room gets the most heat and light during the day. Today, I commented about the heat and my mom blamed me because I am wearing a hoodie and pajama pants. It is my only clean laundry because she refuses to get me summer clothes because I look so ugly in them. I said, well, I don't wear this in my room and I am still hot, and she was livid. She says it is not my house to be walking around naked in. I keep my door locked 24/7 and only leave my room to use the bathroom, take my dog out, and to get food because my stepdad is very verbally abusive. Am I in the wrong for being undressed because of the heat? Or is she crazy for reacting like that because I keep my door locked? I feel like it is something else, like she is scared someone is going to do something to me somehow. I do not know. I got mad and just ignored her and walked away. Up next, to the world, my mother is a sweet old lady who paints and bakes. To me, she's the person who denies my entire childhood happened. It is crazy to me how someone can abuse a defenseless child for years and years, and then completely alleviate themselves of any shame or guilt, and completely deny reality and tell you, the abused, that it never happened. It gives a feeling of being treated unjustly, and it is even more irritating that my abusive narcissists, my older sibling and mother, are supposedly living wonderful lives where they are just these super wonderful people. Golden child older sibling has children, and the narcissistic mother is the best grandmother ever, and she is so sweet. She paints now and bakes. It is crazy how someone can spend their whole life being extraordinarily harmful to others. My narcissistic mother has been abusing, berating, belittling, and emasculating her husband, my father, who also was highly physically abusive with me, to let out his anger since they met, and then have complete freedom and be able to never face their abuse, nor have any accountability. How many of you have narcissistic parents who completely deny that any abuse happened? My guess would be the vast majority of you, or us. After my dad died, my mom would spam call me dozens of times a day, and if I didn't answer, she'd go full-blown exorcist. I understand it's hard, but she was already a horrible person before this happened. Now people are distancing themselves because she's so aggressive, agitated, and upset, and she rages over literally nothing. Every day she tries to find a new problem or emergency, and if people don't run to her, she goes full-blown exorcist. It is spamming calls, texts, and harassing behavior to the max. It doesn't matter how much you've done for her that day. If you don't immediately fall to your knees to help her with a fabricated issue that doesn't even exist, you've betrayed her. If I don't answer her calls to get a reprieve, she'll call everyone she knows, and then some of them come to me and ask if I can call her just to settle her down because they are sick of dealing with her. So people are slowly giving up on her. They can't take the harassment anymore, so they let her go to voicemail. Then, the masses of calls start. What if I have a heart attack? What if I have a stroke? Can you call? And then let me answer, and then I can see if my phone is working? And then it got weird. Can you help me get a new phone? People have delicately tried to explain that sometimes people are just too busy to take a call, and the cognitive dissonance kicks in dramatically. That can't be it. Even if I respond with a text right after to her, "Did you get my message?" text, she still wants me to call her for no reason. There is never an actual reason or emergency. It's just imagined drivel from the nether regions of her mind. Up next, my mother paid for my plane ticket to visit her, just so she could tear it into pieces right in front of my face. She had paid for my plane ticket. While there visiting, she and I got into an altercation that resulted in her throwing me out of the house while I was barefoot and in my pajamas. She then proceeded to throw my suitcase and all of my clothes at me while I stood in the front yard, sobbing. The last straw was her tearing up my plane ticket and telling me to find a way home. This was back in the day when plane tickets were printed out and mailed to you. With Mother's Day approaching, this hurtful memory crossed my mind, and it made me wonder what other people's experiences were with their narcissistic parents. Up next, I was looking at a patient's cute grandkid photos when she asked me a question that put my entire childhood in perspective. I was parentified majorly as a kid growing up, which turned me off to child rearing. In addition to that, I have zero village that would help me raise a baby. My narcissistic mother flat out told me she wouldn't watch my kid. so don't bother having them. My narcissistic stepfather is physically and verbally violent. I had a patient today tell me about how they're a grandparent. I saw their photos and commented how cute their grandkid was. They then asked me if I or my siblings have children, to which I responded, no. Then she asked me if I or my siblings thought my parents were deserving of grandchildren. I said no so fast. I didn't even hesitate. She called it a fresh new perspective she had never heard of before. My dad killed himself and blamed my mother in the note, and now she started calling my newborn son her baby. I'm a new dad of a 2-week-old baby. For a bit of backstory, my dad killed himself in 2017 and left a note blaming my mom's addictions and his church. He killed himself on my parents' wedding anniversary, and before that, he used to tell me that he had to put locks on his pain medication because my mom would steal his pills. My mom would get really high and mean and steal his electric wheelchair and take it down the road outside of our house. She made him feel small for his disability, but I don't think he should have killed himself because of it. Also, my mom doesn't like my politics. I've become a lot more liberal since my dad's death, and I go to a progressive church with a female pastor and a ton of gay people. This is something she's gotten on to me constantly about in recent years. Anyway, my mom is constantly asking for pictures of my newborn. At first, I thought this was okay and kind of nice, but it's turned into walls of text with declarations that my baby is going to fix her life and allow her to get over my dad's suicide. But that wasn't the worst part. She's also started calling my son her baby. First off, I don't like that she calls my son her baby for what seems to be obvious reasons. Second, I don't like the pressure she is putting on my family to turn her life around. We didn't have this kid to fix anything in anyone's life. Third, I'm fearful that she wants to spend alone time with him to fill his mind with ideas that I don't agree with. Like if my kid is gay or whatever, I don't want him to think he's evil or that God thinks he needs to change. I guess I'm just curious if anyone else gets messages like this from their mom, because I'm not sure if I should start pushing back or what. Apologies for the ramble. I am a newborn dad and too tired to edit my thoughts. Long story short, I had a baby, and now my mom is putting this idea out there that he's going to fix problems in her own life. It is very uncomfortable, and I am unsure if I should say something early because I already feel it getting out of control. Even with therapy, it has been so hard dealing with some of the stuff my mom has said to me, and only my wife has really known what's going on. It's a lonely issue, but I have to protect my new family above all else. That's where the original poster left off, but the comment section had a lot to say. Reader user Laquila weighed in with this blunt advice. Yes, you definitely, absolutely must push back. Your mother is obviously seriously messed up. You're right, your baby is not her emotional support animal, or a fix for her self-inflicted life. Do not allow her to inflict that on our innocent child. She will mess him up, guaranteed. She won't be this Hallmark movie-style sweet old granny. Prioritize your child and yourself so you can be a good parent, a far better one than your own. Your child needs you to protect them. If you have a partner, the parent of your child, they are also the priority, not your mother. Keep her in the far outer lane of your lives, if that. Never allow alone time. There's no need for it. The trauma of his past is now threatening his own son. I hope you don't rely on her for daycare. If so, please find something else. Learn to say no a lot. Just that single word. It's a complete sentence. You are not obligated to provide reasons or explanations. She is not your ruler. If you keep her in your life for whatever reason, keep it low contact. Give her timeouts as a consequence if she won't respect boundaries. Increase the length of the timeouts if she doesn't learn. Consider no contact if need be. That was the perspective from user Laquila. Let me know in the comments which side you're on.